Good morning, everyone. In the last class, we have discussed with some of the concept called logical operators and basic mathematics operators. And today we are going to work with the conditional. In the last class also we identified the if block. So in the which scenario you can work with the particular if block. Getting the point. Same thing using the particular if condition we are going to implement. We're going to implement the nested loop, nested if conditions, as well as how we can work with the else if conditions. I'm going to write the simple example. So inside this particular default package, I want to create one more class here that is called if else. And carefully observe how we can work with this particular if else condition. I'm making this particular variable called month, and it is having the data type called int. So what is the value we are initializing? By default we are initializing the particular value 4, and after that what I am doing here, so I'm making some string data type here. So don't worry, the string data type as of now, we'll discuss more. Getting the point. Just focus on this particular current example, how we can work with if and else block here. Right now, if I'm going to make month equals to 12, this month already the particular double equal to operator we already identified, and I'm checking with the or condition. So observe carefully how we can write here month equals to 12, or month equals to 1, or we can check with 2. So this is a simple condition. I don't want to add any the particular block of code here. So simple line of statement. So that's the reason I'm not going to write any curly braces and opening the curly brace and closing the curly brace, because we're having only one line of statements here. So something called some season I want to write, that is called winter. And if the condition is not satisfied, we are going to have one more block that is called else if. So this is very important. So the else if we are going to introduce in the today class. And now observe how I am going to write. And month equals to 4 equals to 5. So getting the point. And here also I don't want to make any curly brace. Simply we are having only one line of statement here. So this is called something called and here one more condition I want to make. So this is the 6th month, and I want to make 7th month or condition. And here, so how many conditions we are making here? Around we are making 3 conditions, like either month equals to 6, or month equals to 7, or we are making month equals to 8. So carefully observe, here we are working with the double equal to operator, not the single equal. Getting the point. Now here what I am writing here, this particular season will come under the right. And finally, okay, we'll make 8. We can make one more condition. Here, and I'm making the month here, month equals to 9, and 10, something called 11. So, sorry, 11. Getting the point. Because from the 12 we already handled this on the top of here. So only we are having up to 11 here. So something called a 2-man. So this is a one more season. If any condition is not matched here, we are having so one more condition that is called the final one. So season, what I want to make? Simple one. The last one, not matched. So simple. This is the one more season I want to add. So carefully observe here what we are doing here. Okay. And observe, initially we already identified this particular block called if block. And right, whenever this particular block, if it is returning true, what we are going to do? This particular line is going to execute. So up to this we identified in the previous classes, but make sure if this particular condition is not satisfied, so we are having a one more option here which can make, but here syntax here we need to follow else if. So if you want to create how many else if you can create as much you want, but make sure here whenever you are creating this particular else if again, so we need to prepare some conditions like this. Again this particular block is going to return, again this particular block is going to return true or false. If it is true, this particular line is going to execute. If it is returning false, what will happen here? This entire is going to check with another else if condition. Same way, in this case, any condition is satisfied. So either this particular if conditions or this particular else if or this particular else if, any condition is satisfied, it's not going to execute the below statements here. Because already one condition is satisfied, directly move on to the entire this particular block. Getting the point. So carefully observe here. Finally, I want to make so I want to print this particular message. What we can do, we'll try to run directly in the debug mode. So directly we can run in the debug mode so that we'll get an idea how exactly it is working internally. Now, so carefully observe here. So we are having the month here, the 4 right side section we can easily identify, and the string information we are not getting because it is not yet initialized here. So you can check here this particular if condition is not satisfied, it's coming to this particular else if condition. So we can check here, it's returning true. How we can check here? So just click on this particular entire condition, right? Copy this particular entire condition, click on Control Shift I, Control Shift I. So what we are getting here? So the expression value we are going to get here, whether it is a true or it is a false. So we can easily recognize based on this. Now back to here. Once it is true, you can check here. After that, where it is coming here? So remaining these 3 conditions are not checking at all. It's not checking. So directly from this particular block, where we are getting here? The sysout we are trying to print here. Directly we are getting the line number 17. Getting the point. So this is the way this particular block is going to execute. Right. This is the something called the spring is printing. And observe here I want to make something called 13. Here I want to make 13. So again we can run in the debug mode. So carefully observe at this time how it's checking the each condition here. So now you can check here. So line by line we are going to execute the code. So to execute the line by line, what we can do, just click on the F6. F6. So carefully see the if condition is not satisfied, is coming into the else if. Now we can check one more else if is trying to execute. So still the else if condition not satisfied, the line number 11. Now it is trying to execute line number 13. So you can check here, all the conditions is checking. All the conditions is checked here. So no condition is not yet matched. Now what is doing here is trying to checking with the last condition, that is else. That is else. So simply not matched. So what we are getting here, something called not matched. So in this way, this particular if and else if blocks are going to work. And make sure whenever we are having more than one line of statement, what we can do, we can open the curly brace, and we can check with we can write as many lines as many lines of code we want to write inside this particular block. So this is all about this particular if and else if. This is also very important in the real-time application development. We are going to use more and more here, right? So not only this particular into data type and string, we are going to work with the custom data types here, something called the address, person, member, getting the point. So based on that, we are going to create this particular if and else conditions, right? Now we'll check with the one more switch statement here. So how we can work with the particular switch statement here. So here. So still, if you are having any questions, you can communicate me over the message. Like if you want to discuss anything, or if still you are having any confusion, you can message me so that I will clarify your doubts. Okay, so back here, the if and else condition we identified. Now we'll check with the switch case. How we can work with this particular switch case here. To work on this particular switch case, what we need to do. So here it is a multi-way branch statements we are going to call. Getting the point, and it's going to provide the easy way of dispatch the execution of the different parts of our code. Getting the point. So it's going to provide the easy way of execution of our code using the particular different parts of our application is nothing but our code here. So we'll see how exactly it's going to work, and it is a alternative to the particular if and else if conditions, or we can call it as a if and else if statements. So simple, how we can work with, how we can use the particular syntax to work with the switch cases, right? To work on the particular switch cases, first what we need to do, we need to create one more class here. The name of the class here, I want to create something called sample switch, and we can create this particular checkbox is going to generate the main method. And after that, what I'm doing here, so directly I'm going to write one loop here. The loop also we identified in the last class. First, what we need to do here, we need to initialize the value. So what is the data type I'm taking here? That is called int. After initializing, what we can do, we can make the condition. So carefully observe here the condition I less than 6. So up to how many times the loop is going to repeat? So 6 times the loop is going to repeat. From 0 onwards, 5th, 0 to 5. And after that, what we are doing here? We are working with a post increment operator. So that is called I++. And after that, what I am doing here? I am opening the block of statements here. So here, switch. The switch here I am making I. The switch I am making here I. And after that, what I am doing here? I am making case details here. Here I am making case. So when the case is 0, how we are going to get the particular case 0? So we'll get from this particular the I value, whatever the I value we are having. So it's going to check it with this particular case here. Getting the point. Now observe. So something called I is 0. Initially it's 0. So what I'm doing here, I want to make break here. So case 1. And here just I'm trying to print the I value. Break. So I will explain why I'm making this particular break here. So first focus on this particular example, case 2. So exactly it is the alternative to the particular if else statements here. And I is 2. Break. Something called case 3. Sorry. Case 4. The last one I want to provide here. So here by default. The fifth one I want to make here default one. If anything not matched, it will go to this particular default. Here what we can do, simply I want to make here I is something called 5. So when these particular conditions are not satisfied, is going to check with this particular default one. Right. Now we'll try to run the same example here. Sorry. So using this particular switch case, we can observe here initially the I is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 as well as 5. So this is the way we are getting an outputs here. But here make sure, so we implemented here up to 4. I want to make here something called 6 here. I want to make 6 here. So we'll see whether this particular 6 is going to execute or not. So even though if we are defining the particular 6 expression here, we are not getting. Why we are not getting? Because up to this particular loop is going to repeat 0 to 5 times. Getting the point. So this is the way we can work with this particular case, switch case here, and we'll see one time how exactly it's going to working internally. Right. So what we are doing here, I am trying to make one breakpoint here. So now we can check the I value. I value it is 0. You can check with the right side section. So we are going to have the I value related information. So you can check here. The case is calling, I is printing. Now once we are making the break, what is doing here is directly going to the for loop here. Now it is checking. So you can check here directly it's checking with the second case. So that is called one case here. Now we are making break. So now the I value become 2. The case 2 is executing. So now I value become 3. So the case 3 is executing. So break. Now the I value become 4. So 4 is executing. Right. So now we can check here the I value 5. But here we don't have any case. So what is doing here? Directly is checking with the default one. If any condition is not satisfied, it will back to this particular default one. It will back to this particular default one. Observe here. So it's now come out of the particular loop here. So even though I value it is 6, even though I value 6, but this particular condition is failing here. This particular condition is failing. Because of that, now what is doing here? It's come out of the particular loop here. Okay. So this is one more. Now let me click on F8. So I want to remove the breakpoints here. So all the breakpoints I'm trying to remove. So we'll check how exactly it is working here. So observe carefully. We'll run in the one more time in the debug mode. High value we are getting. So see here. So what we are doing here is trying to check all the cases here. So even though the case is not matched, still we are able to check with all the cases. So we don't want to give this kind of opportunity to all the cases. Getting the point? So instead of doing all the cases, if we are doing all the cases, why we need to go for this particular switch cases? Getting the point? So that's the reason what we can do. We can make the breakpoint whenever any condition, any case is not matched here. Getting the point? So this is the way we can check with the particular break and we can work with the case, whatever the implementation we want to perform using this particular case. So not only this particular into type, we can check with any data type. Getting the point? So it's going to support any data type here. You can implement a character or boolean, or we can check with the integer. Getting the point? So this is all about the switch case. So now I want to make one more here, the same example. So just now we implemented in the if else. So simple example we can check here. I want to make entire this particular loop. Comment section here. Up to this. Okay. Now I've commented the code. So what is the shortcut to make the comment here? Control Shift and so it's like a what we are going to call forward slash. Yes. So we need to work with the Control Shift and forward slash. So this is making the entire section comment. And now back to here, I want to make in 4. The same example I want to take here. That is called what we can do here. After this particular into data type, what I am doing here, we'll try to define the string season information. Okay. Careful observe what I am doing here. I want to define this particular string season, and later I'm moving into switch case. Here, what I am doing here, making month. Getting the point. Based on which month, what we can do, right? So case I want to make for 12 and do case for 1, 2. For these 3 cases, we are having only one season. So that is called winter. Getting the point. Now what we can do, we'll make a breakpoint. So this is a one more alternative here, and so what I am doing here, I am making case 3, case 3, case 4, case 5, and here it is a summer. Case 6, case 7, something called case 8 is equals to, sorry, here it is a summer, it is a something called spring. And now case 9, case 10, case 11. So what we can do here? This is the one more season here. If anything not matured, what we can do? We can go for the default one. What we can define here? So above not matched. So this is we are going to define. And after that, what we can do? You can check with the value here, season. Getting the point. So this is the way we can work with this particular season. Now, simply, I forget to add a breakpoint here. Right. So this is also one more option to make our case here. You can check the month we are getting 4 here. So directly where it is going here, because inside this particular case we are getting the 4 here. So that's the reason it's going back to here and we are breaking the statement. So something here. Let me check the season is printing or not. Okay, it is not printing because so it's still it is in the, sorry. Now it is stated inside this particular default. So we'll try to execute one more time here. You can check here. We are entering into this particular case details, and after that, okay, sorry, I made inside this particular loop. Here we need to specify restart. You can check here the season. Now it will print. It is called spring. So this is the way we can check here. You can check here something called 13. You can check directly. Now I am running. Run as running mode here. The OK is not matched here. So the default one is checking here because we provided the 13. The 13 we did not have in the particular this example. Getting the point. So this is the way we can work with the switch case here, and we identified so break, and we can check with the multiple cases for only one condition. Getting the point. Now we'll go for the loop concepts here. We'll go for the loop concepts here. In the last class we already implemented the particular example, and today also we implemented one loop that is called for loop here. So along with particular for loop, we are going to have different kinds of loops here. So we'll check here how exactly each other loops are going to work. Now we'll check with the while loop here. So now we'll go for the while loop here, how we can work with this particular while loop here. So to work on the particular while loop, so what are the syntax we need to follow here? Basically, when we are working with the while loop, this is the while, this is the one keyword, and now what we can do, we need to specify the condition. If this particular condition is satisfied, whatever the body we are going to add, so those lines of statements is going to executed. So something called body for loop, or Right. So this is the way we can define this particular while loop here. Make sure this is very important here, the condition. So how many times the condition is going to match something called how many times the condition is going to return true. So the same many times the particular loop is going to repeat here. Right. When this particular condition is returning false, it will come out of the particular loop call here, the while loop here. So carefully observe how we can check with this particular while loop here. So now what I am doing here, I want to make here int n is equals to 10. And after that, what I am doing here, I am making this particular condition, sorry, loop here, something called while. And here observe how I am writing the condition. N greater than 0. N greater than 0. Right. So this is the condition I am making. So how many times this particular n greater than 0, it's returning. So the same time the loop is going to execute. Simply, I want to print this particular sys out here and do n value. Here, n value I want to define n. And after that, what I am doing here? So this is very important. Whenever we are making any condition, so in how many times, after how many times we want to make it false. So if you are not making the any false, what will happen here? So it's going to execute a number of times. It's going to execute. So we can't identify how many times the loop is going to execute. So observe n minus minus. Right. So carefully observe here. This is a simple example. You can check here from 1 to 10 or 10 to 1. So it's executing 10 to 1. So we are getting this particular 1 value. What will happen here? So now it is become 0. So 0 greater than 0, it's returning false. So carefully observe, if I'm removing this, like if I'm commenting this particular lines, you can check here, is executing. So this particular loop, it's not yet stopped here. Still it is executing here. So we does not know when it's going to stop. Basically, so these kind of loops we don't want to make here. So we may get something called out of memory related exception, but make sure whenever any loop, so whenever we are working with any loop, we have to specify the proper condition. Right. So this is the loop here, while loop here, directly how it is working here. We are making the condition, how many times the particular condition is going to satisfy. So that many times the loop is going to repeat here. So simple one, if you want to make one more example here, something called right. So instead of this particular n, what I can do, sorry, n greater than b. So we can check here whether this particular n value is going to print or not. So there is no println statement. So that's the reason the console, it's not printing anything here. It's nothing but this condition is not satisfied. This condition is not satisfied. So this is one more simple example here. And along with this, we can add one more here. So carefully observe here how we can define I comma j. And I is equals to 100 I'm making, and j is equals to 200 I'm making. Right. Again, I'm making one more, this particular while loop. Plus plus I minus minus j. So simple condition I want to make here. Here, what I can do, I value and do j value. Getting the point. So this is I'm going to print here. So we'll see how many times this particular loop is going to print. So you can check here, this particular loop is stopped here. Something, okay, I also, it's, can check here. So I value 133. So j value 167. So we'll go for the first one. So you can check here 1012 199 102 103. The I value is increasing. So right side the j value is decreasing. Getting the point. So up to here 149. I value is 149. J value is 151. So after that what happened here? This particular loop is returned false here. So this is the one more way we can check it with the loop here. So we are having the different approaches to work on the loops here, but make sure how we are going to identify here the different approaches whenever we are working, like whenever we are trying to practice more and more, so then only we can understand how exactly it's going to work here. Now the while loop we identified, we'll go for the another loop called do while loop. So I'm going to create one more class here. Do while. And inside this particular do while, so we'll see how exactly this particular do while is going to work and what is the difference between while and do while. Now observe, inside this particular main method, I want to define the same n variable name and value. Here it is 10. But what I am doing here, using this particular do, I'm giving an option to iterate one time. After iterating one time, we are making the condition here. So something called, first what will happen here, the do is going to execute and here we are going to print n value. Here we are going to print n value. So n value is nothing but n. So later what I am doing here, I am making this particular, I'm trying to reduce this particular n value. Here I'm making the condition. Here I'm making the condition. So the same condition I'm going to use here. And whenever we are working with the do while, so we need to make here something called semicolon. After completion of this particular while loop, we need to specify the semicolon. So carefully observe here, whenever this particular main method is called, what will happen here? The values are going to initialize. The n value we are going to get 10, and after that this particular n value is going to print, and after that the n value is reducing. So later is checking the condition. Right. Once the condition is true, what happens here? Again it will go back to here. Right. It will go into check. Now, so the n value initially it is 10. Now initially, once this particular statement is executed, it will become null. We are making some condition. The condition is satisfied. It so it go to the do loop. And after that, what will happen here? So it's going to print the particular n value. Now the value is going to reduce. So same way, it's going to keep on reducing. Getting the point. So some case the condition is going to satisfy, the values is going to print. Observe here, let me save the example. We can observe the same value we are getting. So whatever the value we identified using this particular while loop, the same value we are getting, but only the difference here. So initially, instead of checking condition at first, we are giving an option to execute one time. After that, we are making the condition. So that is only the difference here. That is only the one difference here. So simple, I want to make here using this particular do. I want to make simple example here. The simple example here, okay. Let me comment this particular section here. What I am doing here, I want to make choice here. Right. And after that, I'm using this particular do. So something called some message I want to print initially, and later what I am doing here. So just I'm giving a choice here. The choice here, one for if, and so just I want to print these messages. Second for switch here, and third for do hyphen while, first to switch to second do. So here we can make the fourth one while here some message, and the fifth one here for loop. So these are the options here. Getting the point. And what we can do here, whenever we are making any conditions here, what we can do after this particular, here I want to make while here, the while choice. So we define the above choice here. Choice less than 1 or greater than 5. So observe carefully whenever we are making this particular condition. So whatever the choice we are going to select, so either less than 1 or it is greater than 1. So between these is going to execute. Between this is going to execute here. Now we'll check here. What I am doing here, I want to print some next line here. Make semicolon. So it's asking the initialize. We'll initialize the value. Okay. After that, what we can do, I'm making switch condition, because it is a character, we need to use like this. So something here, it is a if condition. So simple, I want to specify the messages here. So I don't like I want to specify 1, 2. So remaining you can work here. If condition statement, right? And one more here, the else block. Right, this is the case here. Same way, what we can do, we can define for switch case. Case here second. Case here second. What we can do here, I just want to copy all the information. The switch, right? And something called switch here expression. And here, what we can specify, case details. We'll make break here. Same way, we can make here also break. Right. So now the remaining one we'll check later. The remaining one we'll see later here. Getting the point. So observe, if I'm going to run, so the condition is not satisfying here. It's keep on executing here. If you observe here, still we are getting here. You can observe some messages we are printing. Help on. So if switch, do, while, and for loop. So after that, again we are getting this particular while loop here. What we miss here? Let me provide one more. Choose one. So this is, I'm going to print here the particular choose one here. What happened? Still it's running. Okay. So maybe we need to use the particular here something called system dot. We'll check here initially one. The the scanner class we need to use here. Oh, still we are getting. Maybe this condition we specified is wrongly. Okay, terminated. Because choose one. What happened? The choose one is not working here. Okay, so we'll see what we are missing here. Do is executing. Sorry. Yeah, I missed here. choice is equals to char type I want to convert system dot in dot read, and we'll keep as it is 1, and we'll see 5. Okay, now observe. So is asking here. Okay, sorry, I given the enter option here. Carefully observe something I want to give second. So the second we are getting the switch expression. Right. If I'm going to run 1, the if condition we are getting the point. So this is I missed here. So I'm trying to figure it out. Basically, so using this particular system.inRead method, we are going to call. So whatever the command line input we are giving, so this is going to load. Right. So after that, we are converting into the particular carrier, and whatever we are giving this particular value is going to override with the dynamic value. Get the point. So carefully observe what we are giving an option here. The option here, simple. First time it is executing here. First time it is executing. Later we are checking this particular condition. Later we are checking the condition. So based on this particular condition, what we are doing here, this loop is going to repeat more times, and we are coming into the switch case based on the particular charge we are executing. So try to implement the do while, and for loop. So it's simple, like we need to specify the sysouts information. We need to specify the information here. Right. Now we already identified the particular for loop here. But make sure whenever we are specifying the particular for loop here, we are going to have different concepts in the particular for loop here. So that is we are going to discuss here. The initial one we already identified. So something called initialization, the condition, as well as the iteration block. Later, what we are going to do, let me make it here. Loop and main method. Into a comma b, I'm making this particular loop here. So something called a is equals to 1. Directly also we can specify like this, and a less than b, a plus plus. Right. So after that, what I'm doing here, so simply we'll print the sysout a value and b value. Something called a, something called b. But make sure here b is equals to 4. So this is the simple one we already identified here. Right. The simple one we already identified. But observe here the second one, what I am doing here. So b is equals to 5. So instead of defining here, what we can do, so this is, we can define like this, and we can make the condition same, and after that I'm making one more here. So carefully observe, up to this initialization block, this is the conditional block, and this is the iteration block. So here what I am doing here, I have two variable information. So as of now we did not work this kind of example. So we are working with a single variable, but now we are working with variables here. So you can observe a is equals to 1, b is equals to 5, a is equals to, b is equals to 4. After that, what happened here? This condition failed here. Getting the point. This condition is failed. So this is all about this particular for loop, and we are going to have more information on this particular for loop here. So we'll try to figure it out what exactly the remaining syntaxes are available to work on this particular for loop here. So we'll try to complete this is on Monday, and after that we'll go back to the nested loop, and we'll check with the continuous statement and break statement. So later we'll move on to the classes information. Getting the point. So day by day the concepts are increasing. So I'm requesting everyone try to practice what we are discussing on the day-to-day classes. So whenever we are trying to practice more and more, then only we are going to understand how exactly the Java is working internally. So any questions regarding our today's class?
Yeah.
Okay. If we don't have anything, we can conclude the meeting. So we'll see on Monday. Basically, we don't have any class for tomorrow and day after tomorrow. We'll try to conduct on Monday. Okay. So thanks for joining the session, because I am not seeing any response, so that all are good. We'll try to continue on Monday with this particular remaining concepts, the for loop, and later on we'll move another concepts here.